So today I'm going to be ripping a box of 2025 BBM Rookie Edition. So Rookie Edition is a pretty long-running BBM product. It's at least 20 years old. As you can see here, I have Yu Darvish's Rookie Edition card from 2005. So it's at least 20 years old. I don't know exactly how long it's been going on. Probably not much before that. Anyway, so this product is all draft picks. And so maybe a little bit like Bowman Draft. And of course, not every player in the set will be an actual, playing rookie this year, but all of the cards in this set are designated as rookie cards. So it's all rookie cards of draft picks. So yeah, I'm gonna rip into this. First, I'm just gonna show you guys a couple of my more notable cards that I have in my collection from this product. So here's the 2018 Munetaka Murakami. If you know him, you probably know him a little bit if you're watching my channel. This is actually going to be Murakami's 2025 is going to be Murakami's last season in Japan, and then he will be coming to the majors. I've got the 2020 Roki Sasaki. And this is actually a pretty nice card that I found digging through a binder at my LCS. And I got this card for a steal. And the employee at my LCS was like, oof, we should probably be doing our due diligence a little bit more to be constantly scanning for price increases. But this is Hiroya Miyagi, who is a great young pitcher for the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes have their pitching factory. Yamamoto came from the Buffaloes. And Hiroya Miyagi is a great pitcher, and this is the silver facsimile signature parallel from Rookie Edition, and these facsimile signature parallel cards in the various colors they come in are pretty sought after cards. These Rookie Edition facsimile signature cards. This is the silver numbered to 100. So pretty awesome. And then I've got, let's see, a couple other cards. As I said, I have a Yu Darvish's from 2005. And this is my favorite pro baseball player not in MLB. So I guess I could say my favorite NPB player, Koji Chikamoto, the center fielder and leadoff man for my Hanjin Tigers. This is actually a parallel, you can see, bookstore special card. I'm not sure what the whole deal with this is, how this was acquired or how this was distributed. But yeah, Koji Chikamoto, my favorite player in NPB. This one, another 2020. 2020 was a pretty good class for pitchers. This is Masato Morishita, and this is a image variation of his Rookie Edition rookie card. And this is the base Miyagi. As you can see, these are different pictures, so they come in image variations. This might be the image variation. I actually don't know if which one is the image variation and which one is the base. I'll have to look into that. So let's get into this. I'll just start ripping. So let's see what's up with this. So actually, a little bit about how the NPB draft actually works. It's a little bit different than American Sports League drafts. So the first round, basically in the first round, this looks like, all right, we'll just that later. Those are not packs. Just want to get a nice display for the video, but fumbling with the box doesn't really make for a good video, so I'm actually going to pause it. You know what? I don't care. I couldn't figure it out. So let's get into it. So as I was saying, here are the packs. A little bit about how the NPB draft works. So it's not like the Major League draft or the American Sports League drafts. Basically, what happens in the first round is all of the teams pick their man. So they'll submit who they want to pick first, and then if no one else submits the same name, you get your guy. But if other teams, if at least one other team picks the same guy, then it will go to a lottery. So then they'll have a lottery, and whoever wins the lottery wins. And then you just pick the next guy, and the process repeats until everybody gets someone among sort of the best, prospects. So, as you can see, the design of these cards doesn't really change too much over the years. They keep it pretty consistent. They're always these posed shots, of the player, and with usually a kind of like geometric design in the back, usually. So basically, the reason, a note about Japanese baseball, basically in NPB, tanking is not a thing. So you don't tank. For one, it's considered kind of shameful to kind of like not care about winning. But I mean, the way the draft's set up too, right, facilitates that idea. You can't just tank and get the number one pick, right? Because there's this lottery system in the first round, right? So some of these guys, so this actually, I have a list here of the players that you're looking for, the first rounders. This is a nice one for me. This is the Tigers' first pick, Takato Ihara. And you can see on the back, right, so they've been doing this for a long time too. It's like a picture of all of the draft class. So even like back to, this is like 20 years ago with Darvish's card, right? It's kind of the same thing. They have this picture of the draft class on the back. So I have a list of all the first rounders, players to look out for. So this is one of them. I might have gotten another in that first pack or so, but I'll go back and comb through it and look for the first rounders. Those are the ones you're really looking for, of course, as you might expect. And this is another one, Hiroto Saito for the Lions, so he's another first round pick. So this is one that you're looking for. Curious, did any of you guys stay up, or I should say get up early and watch the Japan series here at the Tokyo Dome? So definitely getting pretty excited for the season. So I'm not actually sure about the parallel situation because I've never actually opened a whole box of this. I have opened, loose packs And I pulled one out of loose packs. And here's another one, Tai Sasaki for the Carp, another first rounder. So I'll put all the first rounders off to the side. And then I said, I don't remember. I'm not going to, I'll look back to double check later and I'll make sure that I put all the first rounders off to the side. I'll see how many. There's 12 teams in NPB, 12, first rounders. And we'll see, I'm curious how many of them I actually get. So it's 16 packs per box. So we'll see. Actually, so back on the topic of, the Tokyo series, I don't know if the exhibition games were on TV or not. So I'm not actually sure were they because my Hanshin Tigers actually beat uh, the Cubs and the Dodgers, which was pretty cool. I mean, I am aware that, the major league teams during the this might be a parallel actually. Yeah, it is a parallel. So this is insert number to 200. One thing I like about the Japanese cards, honestly, is just compared to, Topps cards, it's just really low print runs. And comparatively speaking, it's not even really close. And then, of course, uh, the price. So this box of Rookie Edition cost me about $60. So actually, this is interesting. Here's a non-Japanese guy who entered the NPB draft. So that's interesting. But I take that back. I said he was non-Japanese. He does not have a Japanese name and he doesn't look Japanese, but on the back, it actually says he's from Aichi Prefecture. So maybe he was born in Japan. Interesting. I'll have to look into this guy more. Let's see here. Yuta Ibaraki. Oh, sorry, Ibaraki. There's an Ibaraki prefecture. I was like, I wonder if he's from Ibaraki, but he's Ibaraki. And he's from Hokkaido. Yeah, I don't know. What was I saying? The Hanshin Tigers beat the Cubs and the Dodgers. That was pretty neat. Um, I will say I do think that the gap between NPB and MLB, while still pretty significant, has narrowed pretty significantly. Back in the day, you'd get these guys, right? They'd be major league cast-offs like Randy Bass. They'd come over to Japan and they'd become stars, but at this point, MPB is basically at a point where major league castoffs just are not, they're just not coming over and becoming really prominent players anymore. I can think of a couple pretty big examples. For example, like Aristides Aquino, if you remember him, uh, Aristides Aquino kind of came over here and was not successful. Did not really play very well. Um, Williams Estudillo, to name another one. Lewis Brinson, former Brewer, another guy who came over and just didn't really have any success. Whereas, back in the day, that was kind of a common thing. So yeah, like I said, I think the gap has narrowed quite a bit. We'll have to see. Let's see here. So no parallels yet. Again, I'm kind of. Oh, here we go. Okay, well, so this is a green. As you can see, my Miyagi is the silver, and this is a green of Teruki Koga. Let's see here. Okay, well, says here this guy's a seventh round pick. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but it's numbered to 75. Pretty awesome. Seventh round pick, Teruki Koga, for the Lions. Now, the Lions last season were absolute dog water. Like, they were so bad. Generally, what happens, I said before that tanking is not a thing in Japanese baseball. So usually, what happens is uh, you get well, how the so the, there's two leagues, the Central League and the Pacific League, right? And there's 6 teams per league. And usually what happens is something like this. You have one team that separates itself from the pack at the top of the table. And then you have one team that's trash. And then the other four are pretty even keel in terms of like their record. You have 4 teams that are just kind of mid. And so that's, because there's no tanking culture and that's the reality, then you also have this draft system where because a lot of the records are so similar, it just really wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't really, it barely makes sense to have like, well, you finished with a worse record, so you get the first pick. It's like there's just too much parity for that to really be that fair. So the draft system works well with that. I think it's kind of like right, it's like a symbiotic relationship. Like because that's the way it is, that's how they do the draft system, and because the draft system is like that, it feeds the system that kind of started it, right? So, um, I think let's see here. Yes. So Yusei Ishizuka. This is for the Giants first rounder. Of course, the Yomiuri Giants are kind of the Yankees of Japan, and kind of also like the Yankees, they haven't really won shit in a while. I do wonder if I get one facsimile signature probably per box, I wonder. Like I said, I haven't ever opened a whole box of this, but I would get a seventh rounder. Definitely have to put all the Tigers together. Oh, never mind. Well, the box heard me talking shit and was like, "Here you go, dude." So Ryunosuke Sato, we'll see. So he's pitcher, and he's a second rounder. Not too bad. So actually interesting. I guess probably, even though I said that the print runs on Japanese product in general much lower in general, but if you look, this Miyagi from 2020, this is the silver facsimile, and he's out of 100, and this is the silver facsimile, but it's now out of 200. So, still not very high. Ryunosuke Sato. So, fun fact, Sato is the most common surname in Japan. And I've actually heard a funny, obviously this is just speculation, kind of just I don't know how much stock you should put into this, probably not a lot, but I actually heard that So basically, in Japan, married couples, with the exception of international couples, so if you are, for example, Japanese husband, Japanese wife, as you know, the vast majority are, you have to have one family name. You can't take, you can't keep your name if you're married, and while, so you have to have one name. And while, of course, this overwhelmingly means that generally the woman gives up her name, it doesn't have to be that way. So it's not the man actually can take the woman's name. It's just you have to have one name. So it's been some professor in Japan or something. Well, not in Japan or something. It was definitely someone in Japan, a researcher or a professor at a university. He basically made a model, and it said something like it was like a projection. And because of this law, this rule about having one name, uh, in like a few hundred years or something, it's possible if they keep this law that everyone in Japan might become Sato because Sato is the most common surname in Japan, and if they don't allow people to just keep their own names or something, eventually everything but Sato will die out. So I thought that was, I don't know, interesting. Taking it with a grain of salt, but you know. All right, we got a few packs here left. So yeah, the reason, I got on that tangent because of Ryunosuke Sato. Oh, I got the base of our boy Ryunosuke. Interesting tidbit. I should look it up later. Maybe you can tell me. Um, Obviously there have been dozens of Japanese major leaguers, but I wonder if the majors they've ever has there ever been a Sato in the major leagues, even though it's the most common family name. I believe the second most common family name in Japan is Tanaka, which of course there's been a Tanaka, Masahiro Tanaka, and then I believe the third most the third most common surname is Suzuki, and of course, there has been a Suzuki or two. There's been a great, I ain't talking about Seiya, although Seiya, of course, Seiya and Ichiro. Um, Number four might be Ito. I think it's Ito. Whoa, dang, okay. I got a sparkly tiger, so that's pretty cool. I didn't know these came in sparklies. See, is that? Oh, that is numbered to 100. I got the Tigers third round pick in a sparkly, so that's pretty awesome. Why am I calling them sparklies? There's another Sato. So, all right. This guy must be maybe Taiwanese. Yes, he is from Taiwan. And the final pack. Dan Shioji. Well, it is written in kanji. It's not written in katakana. Checklist. Interesting name. Ramal Given Ratanayake. Where's he from? Aichi. Alrighty, so that'll do it. I am actually going to pause it and sort through the pile again and then see how many of the first round picks I got out of 12. So I ended up getting 10 out of the 12 first rounders. So 10 out of 12 teams ain't bad. Yumeto Kanemaru for the Dragons. I got Misho Nishikawa for the Marines. Yuto Nakamura for the Swallows. Yu Takeda for the Bay Stars. Takato Ihara for my Tigers. Yusei Ishizuka for the Giants. Yusuke Mugitani for the Buffaloes. Taito Murakami for the Hawks. Tai Sasaki for the Carp. And Hiroto Saito for the Lions. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.